Okay, so the words we speak, I've said this several times. The words we speak, the vibration that comes out of our mouth has an impact on everything around us. And it is very important, and words are very powerful. So if you acknowledge this, you understand this fully, when it comes to verbally speaking to another person, whether it be lashing out or projecting or something like that, there's a lot of people that build boundaries for physical abuse. Obviously, they will not tolerate it. It's not acceptable. Nobody should ever allow anybody to do that to them. And I know there's different circumstances that arise that have people believing that that's okay, but it's not. But I always wanted to know why there is so much of boundary line placed when it comes to physical violence, and how that's constantly reminded with people it's not acceptable, but not so much boundaries placed for verbal abuse, if you know what I'm saying. It's something that's actually encouraged in a lot of more toxic environments, whether it be the workplace, your own family life, or something like that. And they kind of encourage the picking at each other back and forth. It's just something that is not acknowledged as an issue, and it's something that's perpetuated. It's something that continues, and it is usually within a dynamic of people that are not healed. And it's just something that I have noticed for years now, even all the way back into childhood, that it has been something in society that has been kind of encouraged a lot through humor and sarcasm, which is fine. But when it comes to the detriment of another person, like I said, words are very, very powerful. So when we're constantly like busting out the swords, the words and stuff like that, and we're attacking people with no intention for good, with just pure destruction, or the demise of another person, or the beat down of another person, or the tearing apart of their character, or you name it, is basically bullying, right? When it comes to that, why are there so many boundaries placed up for physical and not so much the verbal? I think more and more people need to get on this, and there needs to be more things, even advertisements maybe, and let people know that words are powerful. And I'm pretty sure even companies are aware of this when it comes to marketing and stuff like that. They know certain words grouped together, and orders or patterns of words, and even tone and deliverance and all that sort of thing is very crucial, even when it comes to just selling products. So if they know the psychology behind it and how it impacts people, and just the vibration itself. Nobody ever mentions that, the actual vibration, its sound of the noises your vocal cords make when you're expelling that air out of your body and coming out your mouth itself. Like that is powerful shit. So I think there maybe should be a little bit more acknowledging this sort of thing when it comes to verbal abuse, because it still continues, and I still have witnessed it around me. And joking is fine as long as everybody's laughing and stuff. It depends on the people, because I see other people struggling right now. Sorry, trying to get the words out. I see other people struggling right now, going through what I used to go through, and a lot of it has to do with them being verbally attacked, and them going through whatever bullying they're going through, and people, coming at them in that sort of retrospect, and they don't do anything about it. It's almost like to them it's not an issue, but it is. And it's hard to watch, because I used to be a person that didn't stand up for myself, really. Yeah, when it came down to it, sure, I have no problem with confrontation or anything like that, and I used to speak up, and I was pretty obnoxious when it comes down to it. You can only imagine. I do like to talk a lot, but when it came to people that were closest to me, and they would say certain things when I was not healed, it had a huge impact on me. And it was very painful to get that kind of abuse taken, especially from people that you really care about. and you just let it kind of roll off your back, but really it does have an effect on a person over a period of time. I think they've even done studies of this when it comes to glasses of water or even just rice or material or anything like that, and projecting certain words and frequencies and patterns onto one, thoughts even, which again is frequency, it's a vibration towards an object. We are powerful beings. I don't know how much more I could stress this. And so when we project certain things to certain people or certain objects, it has an effect on it, especially when it comes to the spoken word. So I wanted to get that down as well, because I think that's very important. And I think people should be kinder to each other. And even like myself, when it comes to calling people out on shit, I do the best I can to make sure I fully understand all sides of it, even if it doesn't make it just or fair to do something nasty to another person or sabotage or hurt them in any way. It's still very important for me, myself anyways. I don't speak for you, but for myself to understand all sides of it. Not to say that that's giving them an excuse or that's okay that they did that, but it allows me not to have that conflict within myself, so that I can get to the point of forgiveness, so that I can move forward, so that I have a better understanding and it's not a trigger for me. So yeah, if you're going through that right now in your life currently, and there's people that verbally say things, even if it's just like underhanded comments, or what did I get a lot of back in the day? It was kind of like indirect. So there's kind of like, you can't really point a finger. It's kind of indirect comments. But the energy, especially if you're sensitive, you pick up that it's directed towards yourself. But reacting in a negative way will not help you. Reacting in any sort of anger or resentment or being upset about it will not help you at all. The best thing you can do is understand all sides of it, and then maybe voice that to the other person. Hey, listen, you said this right now. I have a feeling that you're, maybe insinuating something to do with myself, and it does resonate really closely with what I'm going through, or something I had already talked to you about, and you just happen to mention this comment. So like, are you talking about me? And if they're like, no, not at all, I'll be like, okay, thank you for clearing that up. That really does help. And just try to approach it a little bit differently. If you lose your temper right off the bat, it's not going to help anybody. It sure as fuck doesn't help you or help your character or anything like that, because people around you are going to base it solely off your reactions. And not always is freaking out going to help your situation.